Okay guys, I'm frustrated on the price action on Wish and the overall market keep dragging it down. If you feel the same way, hit the subscribe and like button and turn on your notifications. Like, is Wish gonna be going under $1? Like, is Wish gonna be in the penny land? What's your thought? Are you gonna still hodling? Or are you gonna cut that huge loss and move on, only with the 10% initial capital left, right? So last Friday, Wish is closing at $1.88. So we're just testing that triple bottom, touch that $1.80 something cents, right? It triple bottom 3 times. So it's still making that lower low after all those good news that came out, right? That from video clips, like cutting loss from existing non-profitable countries and regions, the new CEO, and the temporary managed the huge cash burn. But all those good news seems like it doesn't help in this kind of market condition. So as soon as you see the news release, it popped a little bit on the price and it kept going back down. It's still making a lower low, right? And even on some of those good days on the market, and Wish doesn't follow the market, right? That frustrated a lot of investors. But at this point, for the long term, Wish investors, majority of us already have a huge loss since we're holding it for a couple months, right? So for those of you that you need to understand that right now is pretty much what Wish can do is like they are doing all those improvements and they are doing all those and they try to implement that turnaround strategy, right? But that's not gonna happen overnight, which just means that it's not gonna reflect on the stock price at all, at least another 2 quarters. So we are looking at least September, which is the third Q of 2022, right? But the earnings not going to release until November. So right now we are in March. So we are looking at another 6-7 months, before we see any price reactions on their improvement plan and on their turnaround strategy. See if the number actually makes sense. See if the strategy actually works or not, right? But on top of that, the macro environment is just very bad. It's just you have Ukraine and Russia's wars going on. That drove the market even further down, right? And we just had the CPI number last week was 7.9%. That doesn't help. That doesn't help at all, right? Also, not just Wish, right? Many small caps and tech stocks are also making a lower low. The sell-off might continue even further, right? On top of macro environment, that how bad it is out there, and Wish have its internal problems that they need to fix, right? So we're not gonna see Wish price gonna go back up until the overall market become healthy again, until all the other tech stocks and small cap stocks that, with good valuations and they are profitable, we're going to see those stocks bounce back up before Wish. Just be clear on that. If you are a new investor that looking to invest in Wish, definitely that would be a better place to put your money, right? With less risk. But other than that, I'm seeing in the short term that Wish still going to be making a lower low. It doesn't matter what kind of good news coming out. Yes, because the overall market doesn't look good at all. Like, is it possible to go under $1? Anything is possible. The stock market is all about supply and demand, right? You have more investors coming into the market and you have more money supply flooding into the market. Yes, right? Then drive all the stock price going back up, right? But right now we're in the bearish market. So the money is actually withdrawing out from those risky assets, those small caps, the pre-revenue stocks, or those SPACs and those those companies that is not profitable, or those companies with the huge cash burn, right? The investors are with the money out from there, right? Anything is possible. But in the long run, we still have some hope on Wish that it can turn it around, but we're not gonna see that from 6 months from now. So don't expect another V-shaped recovery. We are expecting a U-shaped recovery, which is gonna be, we need it to form a long, strong bottom before it reverses back to normal. Another thing that we need to pay attention to is oil prices. Oil prices is at $120, which is that going to cause inflation even worse. Which is that translate to Wish. The Wish buyer or any e-commerce buyer, we have to pay more on shipping costs. And the operating costs on all those e-commerce and their G&A expense will expect to be increased. So we want to see that inflation numbers go down. And we want to see the war between Russia and Ukraine to stop. So that way that the oil price will go back to normal, to $60, $70, to be at the level that doesn't affect the inflation that much. So to be at the level that doesn't affect the shipping costs. In this bearish market, totally ignoring Wish is trading at $1.88, which is trading at $1.2 billion cash value, and it's only 1 year of its revenue. And it is hard and rare to see this type of valuations when there's a lot of IPO and SPAC that came out with zero revenues or even small little revenues, and they're trading at $30 billion market cap like Lucy or Virion, right? But I know that I'm comparing from apple to oranges, but it's still, that's just branding, right? It's, a stock or a particular brand is branding also. Branding, right? We want the new risk management to know that risk branding had to be better. Risk repetitions and risk story had to be sound better. That also going to drive the demand on the stock. When your branding is bad, when your repetition is bad, it doesn't matter how good of a company you are, people might be afraid of investing in your stock. Branding and repetition, this is what the new management also need to be working on. Another suggestion that we see that the new risk management team, that they should stop selling their own shares of the stocks. I know that some of them is cover their tax when they, when they shares are vested, and instead of they just should buy share of Wish, and to bring confidence to the shareholders, then look, the insiders are buying, share from Wish, that provide confidence that their turnaround story is gonna be legit instead of selling the shares. For the long-term investors on Wish, we are down here at $1.88. We're almost to the penny land, and we're down about 70 to 90% to a lot of people, right? But when you always think about this, why would you invest into Wish in the beginning? Majority of us are believing in the story and believing in the platform and believing in the management and believing in the unique of this platform. So it is unique way of operating this platform, and it has a unique product that to target certain customers. So we have to ignore the price actions day to day. If you're looking at the price day to day, and you will get frustrated, and you will hit that sell button and take a huge loss, and the market turn around when Wish has some huge news came up, and it's gonna reverse back to the uptrend. And then you're gonna FOMO, and you're gonna FOMO. You're like, and then you'll be FOMO, because you believe in the story in the beginning, take a huge loss, and you want to get back into it. Then then you have to buy it at the higher price, and then the price drop again, and you're gonna sell again, right? If you invest in this type of mentality, you're always gonna be losing money because you're always gonna sell low and buy high, right? For new investors, manage your risk. Only invest the money that you are willing to lose on Wish, because at this point, Wish has its own internal problems that need to, and it has a good management to put a turnaround strategy, but it still is a huge risk. And as the bearish market right now, there's so many good valuations, small cap and tech stock that that down 50% to 80% from its all-time high, and without any internal issues. And those the one that you might be looking into instead of Wish. This is only my personal opinion, and this is not a financial advice. For a trader, for Wish, that is day trader, swing trader, or option trader, follow the trend. Definitely is making a lower low. In the short term, Wish might be still in the downtrend, but manage your risk. Okay guys, I hope this video is helpful, and I will have more Wish video coming out. Hopefully this video is helpful. And make sure to hit that like and subscribe button, and make sure to turn on your notifications for my next Wish video.